how important were those 20 runs that Steve Smith scored after a dolly was dropped off him? He was 14 balls when that catch was put down, and then he cut a few more trees to reach 34. So, 20 runs in a 150 is a lot of runs. So, I mean, somebody else would have scored 10 more maybe. So, you're losing about 10 runs. Not quite a Christian level drop, but still a very significant drop.
Was there a case, Simon, maybe for, it might just prove to be enough in the end. We certainly agree that it should be a lot of runs. But assuming that they don't go on to defend this total, is there a case for them to introspect and say, could we have looked at shuffling the batting order? Because we have someone like Akshar Patel has come in, Marcus Stoinis is coming in earlier. Remember how they used him last season, Simon?
Someone will look at the scoreboard and they'll listen to what I'm saying and they'll say, Steve Smith, 34 from 25. It was a very ordinary innings. And he got lucky. He got dropped, obviously. Then in the last two deliveries, he played one decent shot, which went over square leg for 6. He got a lucky top edge that went away for 4. He scratched and wormed his way around. Whereas a more powerful, they missed out on Shimron Hetmeyer and Marcus Stoinis at the back end to really give them something to chase or something to set at the back end, because Steve Smith was faffing about the whole time through his innings. It just, I honestly, I do not get the selection. I don't. Now, they might win the game, and this might come across as, but I don't see Delhi winning a competition if they're going to bat like that and they're going to continue to play Steve Smith. If they do, good luck to them. But I don't see them doing it if he's going to continue to play that way. He just does not look like he's got any rhythm to his batting at all. He's fighting all the way through an innings, and you don't want that, I don't think, in a T20 side.
Simon, he went to Australia from the last tournament, and he said he found his hands again in a practice match because he probably had lost them playing these exotic shots. And I just wonder what effect this will have, because he is playing at the best of times he plays unusual shots. But these are looking like they're coming from somewhere else. He'll be sitting there, one of the modern greats of the game, thinking, how on earth did I score 34 of 25 today?
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Harsha. He does play unusual shots, but it always looks in control in a test match. He looks in control. Even in a 50-over game, for the most part, he actually looks like he's in control and he knows where he's hitting the ball. He does not look in control. He doesn't look like he's got a clue. Yet, as I say, people will look at it and say, oh, it's got 34 off 25 balls. What's wrong with you? But if you watch the innings in its entirety, the story is there to be told. You're one of the greats of our game, and he just looks completely at sea batting in T20 cricket at the moment.
In fact, Harsha, I think the one shot that sums up where he's at with his head in hands is the way he got out in the previous game. You were on commentary. You talked about cutting down a tree at that point in time. It looked really, really ugly. Yeah, Simon, I don't know if
I wasn't. I know exactly what you mean, but and that is it. Remember, if we go back to his form in the UAE last year, he got out a couple of times doing a very similar thing. Tonight, he played some very similar shots. It just doesn't. I love watching Steve Smith bat. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing him here. I love watching him bat in Test match cricket because I think he's probably one of the most difficult guys to bowl to in world cricket, because his hands and his eyes and everything are so good. But I'm not a big fan of watching him bat in T20 cricket because it just doesn't quite look right.
Ball's just not coming on. Ball's just not coming on here, so he doesn't get that natural flow that we see in Test match cricket. He's up there, he's riding the bounce. Here the ball's just not coming.